Right, gentlemen, it's a yap session. I haven't had a yap session in a minute. Whoa. Since I'm currently doing the Saitama workout. Oof. I did day 3 already. I recorded it, so I'm gonna post it afterwards. So the wilderness, that the title of the video is. I'll probably it will be the title of the video. I'll put it there. You probably see it already. The wilderness. As guys, as men, because I know most of my audience, it's guys. You feel me? As guys, we tend to be lost in the wilderness. Wilderness, to easily define it, according to Google, it's a place, in a more abstract way, or spiritual way, you should say. So it's a place, an individual basically feel distant or isolated from God, because the wilderness is a place where you feel like you're in solitude. You're in solitude, and you don't see. There's no place of solace you can run to, or there's no place of, you don't have tranquility within yourself. You don't have peace at all. That's what the wilderness is. And as guys, right now, there's in the world we're living in now, a lot of us are hidden in our old wilderness. Although usually wilderness is meant like a physical place, but it also can be mental. Mental, whereby you trapped in your mind. A certain thing is holding you captive. It can either be anxiety, stress. You have negative attitude towards yourself or towards the world. You feel me? So all these things can kind of like affect you as an individual, right? So what does it mean for us as guys? Because I do work out, but my workouts are not just to look good or to impress others, to impress people or the world, but it's also for your mind. We, especially as guys, a lot of men struggle with lust. I struggle with lust too every once in a while, because with the things that we consume, the things that we watch, the things that we see, with I'm not gonna sound misogynistic or anything, saying women should be dressing the way they are, but they're not dressing so modestly, and for guys, it's kind of like triggers, this thing within us, right? So that also contributes to the fact that we may feel lustful, we may feel a certain way towards them, although if it can be, it can be avoided if women would dress a bit more modestly, but that's on them, right? Wait, hold on, my battery's about to die. No, actually, just give me a second real quick. Okay, so I fixed something with my phone. So as I was saying, right, that a lot of men, we find ourselves in our own different type of wilderness, whether it be lust, whether it be anxiety, whether it be low self-esteem, whether it be hate, because anything that's basically holding you captive, that's negative, is the wilderness. But something we forget most is that in this world, when God brought us in this world, He gave us a purpose, right? He gave us a purpose, and in order for us to kind of like find out what the purpose is, we need to, you know, be willing to actually find out what it is, because a lot of us, we just living life meaninglessly. We don't have a purpose. We just living life without a purpose, and that may lead us to absorb or kind of like consume these things, or be consumed by these things, that may affect us negatively, and that ultimately will lead to our downfall. So in the wilderness, usually, me, I'm a Christian, so I read the Bible, where usually even like Jesus Christ, I know a lot of people know the story where Jesus Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and He was in a wilderness. So the Bible tells us He was in a wilderness where He was tempted, actually not even tested, tempted by the enemy, was tempted by the enemy for, I think 3 times, yes, 3 times. And all these times He always retaliated with the word of God. So the wilderness, In the Bible, a lot of people have been sent to the wilderness. Abraham, a lot of people, were just sent to the wilderness because it's where, like, it's a preparation. It's where God prepares you for life, especially us. Because I believe most people who are watching this are, young teens or even young adults, even older adults. But in the wilderness, God is preparing you. He's preparing you for life, because life each year, it's just getting tougher. It's not getting easier for anybody. With these things that people are creating, people are living in their own world, and that tend to kind of like ruin, or how can I say this? It kind of like distracts us from reality. We live in our own abstract world, and we forget reality. So working out is good for you. It's good for your mentals, it's good for your physique, it's just good in general, it helps you. But then me working out every single time doesn't mean I'm disciplined. Sometimes, doesn't mean that I'm perfect. Sure, I can have discipline every once in a while, but I tend to let my worldliness get the best of me, and that makes me weak, make me susceptible to these emotions, to these things that I don't want to be susceptible to. Because a lot of men nowadays, they're so much into this, in this realm of like, okay, I need to grind, I need to grind, I need to make money. Sure, that's good, but if have really peace within yourself, and you don't really know what your true purpose is, because money is, sure, it's a good thing to have money, but it shouldn't be your main focus. Because ever since I started working, pretty young, when I was 17, I went to look for a job. So I thought, like, needed money. But the what I'm getting is that I'm realizing that it's just vanity. As Solomon in the Bible said, everything is vanity. Everything is vanity. All this money, because as we know, he was the wisest man. He's the wisest man. He was the wisest man in the world, and he was the richest. He had everything, could have every woman he wanted. He basically, I think, had, I don't know, 91 concubines, which I think is like side chicks or something. But he just said everything is vanity. He acquired all these things, he accumulated all the wealth that he wanted. Ultimately he just realized that everything is vanity, and a man's true purpose, or a man's true calling in this life, is to worship God. So the wilderness will prepare you, but then you gotta prepare your mind. This is where working out comes to play. This is where um praying comes to play. This is where you doing things that may benefit you, because you must know the enemy is tempting you every single day. He's tempting you every single day. He's that tiny whisper that you hear when you want to do something good, or you want something that's going to benefit you, but then he's always whispering, no, go drink, go do this, go do this. That will negatively affect you or destroy you, and over time your body will deteriorate, or maybe even like your mind, it will just worsen itself. That tends to happen too. So in order for us to um conquer, or to triumph over the wilderness that we're currently facing, we give ourselves to God entirely. That's first. Secondly, we actually practice. We practice. You pray, and then you practice. You give yourself to God, you pray, you practice. Only then you will actually find true peace, true tranquility is found in Christ. And then you work out, you start to eat better, you're mindful of what you eat and what you do. You start viewing yourself as a good person. Don't view yourself, you mustn't be mindful what people say. They may say, oh, you're unattractive, or you don't look good, or you're just weird. All these things may hurt you, may hurt your ego, your self-esteem. So that tends to keep you longer into your wilderness, and that destroys you. So we just need to go a place. The place of solace is always God. And yeah, it's just something I spoke up with my family on Monday. It was my turn to lead the prayer, and I spoke about the wilderness. Because we all lost in our own wilderness, and the best way to truly get out of that wilderness is with God. So I hope that you got. I mean, this is just my 2 cents, anyways. I know people have different ways of dealing with their wilderness. People may think alcohol, smoking, just all these things will kind of like alleviate the stress, alleviate the problems. But sure, it will, but then only temporarily. But true peace comes from finding purpose within, and actually seeing that that you actually achieve it, and you actually want to do it. That's the only way you can truly find peace. So, boys, gentlemen, I hope that every time I work out, or I do things that I know that's gonna benefit me, I'm always proud, because I know, in the world that's oversaturated with, all these things of all these negative things on the media, people they they popularize, last these things, bro. These are the things that kind of destroy us. People will regret it, be like, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done it. Well, dog, it's too late now when you're older. So it's better to do it when you're young, because you're still in the learning phase. You're still in the learning phase. And yeah, I hope that you understand and try to grasp what I'm saying and digest it, because the more that I work out my channel, it's not just about working and looking good or trying to impress people. No, it's about mindset, mentality. Mentality. Me, I've been on this path, this trajectory that I've chosen for a while now, to be better. I read more books. I read books now on a daily. I work out on a daily. I pray on a daily. Sometimes you don't feel like to do it. It happens. There's this you skip. But then just like the reminder you should keep to yourself, that okay, I need to do this. I need to do this. Only then. And do it every single day. To compound. Do it every single day. The less significant things that you do will eventually compound in the future. You read a page today, tomorrow you read two, or you pray for 5 minutes, tomorrow you pray for 10. You work out for 15 minutes today, tomorrow you work out for an hour. It will compound. Everything, it's a law of compounding. Basically, it will compound, and then eventually in the future you'll get better at it. You feel me? So thank you so much for listening. It's just like a quick yap session. I just wanted to share my thoughts and my thesis with you guys, and I just want you guys to know that anytime you're feeling like you're going through something, maybe it's send like comments, and I'll see how I can help you, with the knowledge that I have, because every single day it's a learning phase for me. I try to learn as much as I can, whether spiritually, mentally, physically. I just try to learn and better myself as an individual. That's why I try to put out this content, not just to look good, but then to be good as far as your mentals. Like I said, I'm gonna be redundant now by saying the same thing over and over again, but yeah, that's exactly what I need to say. So tomorrow is gonna be, I'm gonna post day 3 today. I already did workout in the morning, right? So I'll post day 4 tomorrow. I think I'm gonna work out tonight. I'll post day 4 tomorrow for the set time I work out. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this yap session of mine, the wilderness. And yeah, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Adios.